Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of our Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix 100% guide. We have basically just finished up in Deep Jungle. We have gained a new Keyblade form. We've gained a new achievement. We've learned the Red Trinity. So all in all, not a bad start to the episode. We learned Cure Magic. We're after getting another gummy piece from that mysterious keyhole in Deep Jungle. We're basically having an old chat with the gummy ship being like, let's fly back to Leon. And now we're having an argument over who gets to fly the gummy ship. So, you know, bit awkward, but we're actually going to just zoom back to the Olympus Coliseum. And then the hope there being that we'll be able to, one, get a new high score. And generally, mission 1s for all the different worlds is just to get a high score in the gummy ship route. So again, you get a point for defeating something, and you get a point for picking up objects. So, you know, try and get as much stuff as you can, try and destroy as much stuff as you can, and hopefully you can destroy things in such a way that they're kind of going to be naturally in your path, if you get me. But yeah, lots of interesting bits there. We're after getting a new form of magic, as I said earlier. And we're now after getting 2 pieces of navigation gummies. So with the hope of journeying back to Traverse Town to talk to Leon, we're going to basically get some new areas to explore. And we've had some really good Disney World so far. As I say, we only had a little visit to the Olympus Coliseum, but we are going to be revisiting there loads and loads, because there's basically tons of different challenges and boss fights and things like that, so it will not be the last time we see it. We also completed another gummy mission, so obviously beating the first tier unlocks the second tier, and certain worlds are easier to complete all 3 missions in than others. So once again, just giving now a look to the old Dalmatians. We've all of them in Deep Jungle and all of them in the Coliseum, and you see some of the Dalmatians are sealed behind specific coloured trinities. So in Wonderland, some of them we might be able to get to until we get a certain trinity, or until we get a certain, you know, exploratory ability. But if you'll recall, back in Olympus, we fought the preliminaries, lost a Cloud, and now our big problem is Cerberus is now running amok, and Hercules is trying to protect Cloud and fight off Cerberus, so it's not exactly ideal, but our group has gotten some useful items. Donald got a new MP ability, so we're definitely going to make sure they're equipped with their best passive and active abilities. What's super handy about magic is that Donald uses the same magic spells that we use, so since we've now learned Cure, Donald can use Cure. Once we learn, you know, other spells, he can use them. And really, once Donald has Cure and other defensive spells, I technically prefer Donald to cast defensive spells more, just because the defensive spells are more expensive generally. So if we can have Donald topping us up with defensive abilities, that's preferable in my eyes to me wasting MPs on buffs and stuff. And I can just cast more Thunders. And I think Cerberus is that one, you know, I think each of the bosses try and show off the spell. And I think Cerberus shows off Thunder so well, because obviously he has 3 different zones, like his 3 different heads, that all take damage to the same health pool. So if I was to cast Thunder, like, it just does so much damage if you target like the middle head and you're striking down the center head and the 2 other heads besides. And just Thunder has the one benefit of basically never missing, because it basically comes down from above, as opposed to fire that can, you know, travel in a path and then end up not hitting the target or bumping into something else, you know? But as I say, we're actually a stronger mage than Donald, because as I explained, It's all of the magic damage calculations are calculated off the max MP stat for damage. So we're actually like, since we have 4 MP and Donald only has 3, we actually like do more healing, do more damage. And the trick with this fight, sorry, I haven't really talked about this fight at all, but you basically want to do 2 hits, and then if you can get a tech point, brilliant. But generally go to one of the side heads, attack twice, and then when you feel safe to do so, you can do 2 attacks on the side of the face. If you get attacked, you can do another 3-hit combo. In general, you are avoiding or staying at a faraway distance because he does these darkness portals, and the fireballs and darkness portals all focus on you. And basically you can keep Donald and Goofy alive by just being far away from them so they don't take these darkness damages and stuff like that. And Goofy actually has a high enough jump. He is able to jump and attack them if, you know, we get lucky enough. But again, look, the 3 heads come down. We try and do 2 hits. So 1, 2, and then roll away. 1, 2. So yeah, that's kind of the trick to safety to this fight. And you see, if you end up attacking the 3rd time, you're more than likely spin into the middle and then get hit. So we don't want that. And in general, always just keep that 1 MP just to be able to cast a cure spell, you know? But yeah, and if we feel confident, we should be able to knock 1 or 2 of those fireballs back. Like Waka, you know, training us for so many parts of this fight. And what's funny is that when you're locked on and press triangle, they run to your target. When you're not locked on to anything and press triangle, they'll run towards you. So it's just a handy way of trying to get Donald and Goofy to path in a way that keeps them alive and out of danger. But yeah, just slow and steady. Obviously, if Donald stayed alive longer, he could cast more thunders. Oh! Come on, just, oh goodness, just thunder, we're fine, just use thunder. Use thunder, Sora! Thunder, Sora, come on! And Sora and Donald got AP boosts, so we'll be able to equip more awesome abilities. We get a new accessory and a nice little cutscene from Hercules and Phil. So I'll let that cutscene play out. But in short, we become junior heroes and we can take part in future competitions. Super duper neat. Talk to you after the cutscene, guys.
Thus, I do hereby dub the junior heroes and confer upon the full rights and privileges to participate in the games. Further...
Hey, what do you mean, junior heroes?
You rookies still don't understand what it takes to be a true hero.
So, what does it take?
Well, that's just something you'll have to find out for yourselves. Just the way that I did.
No problem. We'll start by proving ourselves in the games.
There ain't gonna be any games for a while. Gotta clean up the mess from that last battle first.
Okay, we'll be back.
I still can't believe that Squirt actually beat Cerberus.
Just between us, I'd already worn Cerberus down by the time the little guy jumped in.
My lips are sealed.
So I'm glad we didn't hear that because that boss fight was really tough. So whatever, Hercules.
Hey,
Now for some good conversations with Cloud.
So, why did you go along with him anyway?
I'm looking for someone. Hades promised to help. I tried to exploit the power of darkness, but it backfired. I fell into darkness, and I couldn't find the light.
You'll find it. I'm searching too.
For your light? Don't lose sight of it.
How about a rematch sometime? Fair and square, no dark powers involved.
I think I'll pass.
So we've learned Sonic Blade. This is one of Sora's limit attacks. So it's a really cool ability. It basically lets us zip zap zoop around the battlefield like Cloud. But it costs an absolute metric ton of AP, so we're not going to be using it. But just neat to have. Anyway, another cutscene. Talk after.
He's strong. He's kind. He's always there for you. And he's handsome to boot. He's perfect. Perfect. Perfectly infuriating. He makes me crazy. Wait a minute. What are you worried about? All the pieces are in place. Relax. Whoa, 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 whoa. Here's what you do. Let Hercules train the kid. In the next games, I'll take care of them both. Who invited you to the party? Stay out of this. This is my show.
As you wish. Fight to your heart's content.
So we're now back in the gummy ship, zooming along back to Traverse Town to meet with Leon to discuss the navigation gummy, to probably get new worlds and new adventures. And yeah, sometimes I literally just leave the X button held and I just fire all the way from one end of the gummy route to the other. Because you don't have any ammunition, you're not going to run out, you know? But it's interesting how, like, the Disney villains are kind of working together for this goal of something. And they are all, like, wanting to stop Sora because he's the Keyblade Master. But they still have their own individual Disney World plots. Like, Hades still wants to beat, you know, Hercules. And we'll imagine Hook is angry at Peter Pan, and Ursula probably wants to rule the seas and all that jazz. But with our new Red Trinity in tow, we can actually unseal an awful lot of them here in Traverse Town, and they will lead us to quite a number of handy-dandy collectibles. So this is why one of the things you say is, oh, if you're looking at the Dalmatians, you're like, oh, well, there's so many that I don't kind of have. It's like, well, odds are you need a new Trinity to unseal it. The first of these being around the corner from the item shop where Sora first woke up. There was actually a red Trinity by this little area here. And it actually unlocks a shortcut to the alleyway. And this treasure chest happens to hold puppies! So we have those lovely Dalmatians now. And basically the Heartless have kind of changed as well around Traverse Town. We're not going to be seeing just the shadows and just the soldiers. Traverse Town has gotten more eclectic. But like, what's great is with, like, you know, as much as I also say, oh, I want Donald to only cast healing spells, it's also really nice when he just sees, there's a mob. Let me just hit them with a lightning spell and just destroy them all. 2 mages are better than 1. That's what I say. But yeah, we have these new air pirates. So not exactly
Thunder!
friendly. And they hit really hard, and they tend to just like flutter and then like kick you in the face. So they offer 5 XP though, so it's not too bad. But yeah, they're just a pain. But again, if we scoot over... Sorry, we're fighting with more mobs.
Heal!
But there's another part of here. So we had one thing in the 3rd district relating to fire magic and unlocking a new area. But there's actually another magic puzzle in this area, and it actually relates to thunder magic. So if you run over to... I'll show it now in a minute, but basically if you run over to a certain area, just to the... You know, to the left when you're looking at the 3rd district door, you're able to cast an electric spell to reconnect power to a certain part of Traverse Town. But I guess we'll circle back to that later. Later being right now. Because yeah, I basically was just running around getting a bit of grinding done, so I just kind of cut that out basically. But the little blue guys drop frost shards, so definitely want to be collecting those. And if you want to be collecting multiple versions of the elemental shards, there's a really handy loop I want to show you, purely because when we get to item synthesis a bit later in the game, you're able to craft a great magic bangle that'll basically give you a boost to MP. Its ingredients are, you know, fittingly, a blaze shard, frost shard, and thunder shard. And basically, if you do this little loop in the hotel, you can respawn those enemies infinitely, because if you move between 2 different zones, you respawn the enemies in the zone 2 zones back, if you get me. So Sora went from the hallway, 1 zone, into the green room, into a 2nd zone being the red room, and then if he returns now back to the hotel hallway, all of those different elemental floaty things can now be farmed relatively handily. And as you saw there as well in the red room, we got like a Sphera ring. Lovely, like a nice bit of defense and fire resist. So obviously these little blue guys can also very rarely drop Blizzara rings, but what we're hoping is for their slightly more regular drop of just shards. But we're getting blaze shards, we're getting ethers, so again, it is a really handy spot just to grind out those materials. And I mean, if you're getting handy little tech points, we can get Dom to level up too. And if you want more of them, there's even more options to searching for these Nocturnes and Rhapsodies and those little types of Heartless. The alleyways full of them too. So just blow them all up and you might get another Frost, Lightning or Blaze Shard. But if we go over to here, we actually have another Red Trinity, and this gives us a shortcut from the alleyway over to Merlin's house. So like, Traverse Town is just so beautifully interconnected, it's just great, like, you know? And now Aerith is all, this place is so mysterious, guys, oh my gosh. And then you can see there's a White Trinity as well. We'll circle back to that eventually. But now Leon and Cloud, what am I talking about? Aerith and Leon are basically saying, you're the only one that can seal the keyholes, and if Heartless get into these keyholes, they can travel to the heart of a world and destroy the world. So what we need to do is basically go to the worlds, seal their keyhole, and once the keyhole is sealed, the darkness can never destroy that world. Because I'm the only one who can. And then Sora's like, oh my god, there's an awful lot of responsibility. And then they're like, but what if you find your friends while you're looking? And it's like, well, okay. And now the next fun bit is that Leon's all, oh my god, gummy blocks, trauma. And then Aerith's like, Sid knows an awful lot about gummy blocks, you should go talk to him. And we get a magical pendant, or item, Earth Shine. Oh yeah, puppies. Collect the puppies. But basically we can do speedrun strats. We can skip all the loading zones to get back to the accessory shop by just hopping into Merlin's house and then normal gummy driving over to the accessory shop. But basically a quick chat with Sid reveals the fact that he says, you know, these gummy blocks will unlock portals to let you go deeper into space and explore more varied worlds, but the darkness maybe is more dangerous further out, and he calls us kids and pinheads for not, like, you know, being more aware of what we're flying in, which I feel like is just very common sense. I mean, we did just crash land into the jungles of Tarzan's world because we were fighting over who gets to be pilot, you know? So, I mean, I can see Sid's concern. I mean, one wrong move and our gummy ship explodes into a million pieces, and then we're in the vacuum of space. Like, that is not a game that I want to be playing. But he tells us that basically he's found a book that belongs to a man who's now living in a house behind a fire sign. So he has a book that belongs to Merlin, basically. And we're going to have to go there. But then, alas, the bell on top of the gizmo shop's ringing. But, like, go deliver that book first. And my line to that is, I do what I please, Sid. I'm not going to be taking orders from you. I'm doing what I want. So that's what we're going to do next episode. Go to the bell tower and ring that bell. So hit that bell for notifications for the next episode coming out. And I will chat to you guys next episode. Please leave a comment if you've enjoyed. And I'll chat to you next time. Thank you.